Felicitous greetings, fellow Fanatics.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Adam the Fanatic, and today we're going to be taking a look at Union City Alliance by Union City Heroes. For those unaware, Union City Heroes is named after the RPG they made, which in turn serves as the setting for Union City Alliance. Rest assured that no knowledge of the RPG is needed to understand or enjoy Union City Alliance, which is a good thing because this is the extent of my knowledge on the matter. I'll be taking a look at Union City Alliance through Tabletop Simulator. It's currently on Kickstarter and uses placeholder art for several of its map tiles, and there may be other minor changes before going to print. In Union City Alliance, 2 to 4 players will each take on the role of a superhero. Each hero has their own unique strengths and weaknesses which will allow them to confront various evildoers and ne'er-do-wells. These range from ordinary muggers all the way up to powerful supervillains that the heroes will need to team up to take down. In addition to each player taking their own hero, they'll also choose 2 team-up decks from heroes they're not playing and shuffle them together with a central Union deck to find a combined Union deck. This represents other heroes aiding the player's characters. You'll have a unique supervillain plot which you'll need to defeat. For the demo, we'll be taking a look at the Pteranodon's Dinosaur Mafia, which is divided into 3 issues. Obviously, we start at issue 1, with later issues introducing more powerful threats. To win this scenario, heroes have to take out a number of mob bosses equal to the number of players plus 1, which will cause the crime organization to collapse. Each hero has a 10-card origin deck they start out with, as well as an 8-card solo deck, powerful upgrades that only they can purchase. Along their journey, they'll also be able to purchase Union cards, which, as mentioned before, will allow them to call on other heroes to aid them. Through a combination of solo and Union cards, they'll be able to improve their deck, allowing them to take on bigger challenges as time goes on, which will be a necessity as more dangerous foes come to bear. On a player's turn, they may play any and all the cards they possess in their hand. Most cards will give points in one or more of 3 basic resources: Valor, which is used to purchase Union cards, Might, which is used to fight against villains, and Speed, which is used to move around and explore the city. Certain challenges may also require Speed and/or Valor to be exhausted, but we'll get to those in a bit. In order to move around the city, you'll need to spend speed equal to the number of spaces you're moving, always along the orthogonals. If there are 1 or more villains in your space, you may need to pay a breakaway cost as well, depending on the current issue. To explore a new space, a player must be adjacent to the space they wish to explore, then spend speed equal to the number of spaces it is away from the center of the board. When a new tile is explored, players will reveal 2 Union cards and place them on the tile available for purchase. And they'll also draw the top card of the city deck, placing it on the tile as well. Some city cards are more threatening than others, and a Balance Links Out won't come out until issue 2 or later. If you draw one of these during issue 1, you place it back on the bottom of the deck and draw a new card. Repeat if necessary until an issue 1 city card comes into play. City cards can represent many different things, including villains that aren't affiliated with the major plot that's threatening the city.
This town isn't big enough for 2 supervillains.
Oh, you're a villain, all right. Just not a super one.
Random citizens in need of help, and other events. Though you're not required to address them to win the game, sometimes they won't give you much choice. And besides that, they typically do reward heroes for taking the time to solve these problems. Think of them like side quests. They won't win you the game, but they can help you along. If a player wishes to purchase a Union card, they simply need to be in the space it's on and pay the appropriate Valor cost. It then goes into their discard pile where it'll later be reshuffled into their deck. Though harder to come by, various acts in the game will reward a player with Heroism. These are used to purchase their solo cards. However, each time they purchase one, they take a trained token, increasing the cost of all future solo cards by 2. Unlike Union cards, solo cards go straight in your hand and may be played immediately. Finally, Might is used to attack enemies. If you deal enough damage to take them out, they're discarded. Otherwise, you place damage tokens on them to mark how much more is needed to defeat your foes. Villains from the city deck tend to give you rewards when defeating them, though those from the plot deck generally do not. Once you're done playing cards, you may choose to discard or keep any of those that remain in your hand. You'll move all cards that you played this turn to your discard pile, and after that, you'll draw back up to 5 cards. You may also keep a number of legacy cards in play, as determined by the rules of the current issue card. After that, it's the bad guy's turn to strike. First is the threat phase. Each enemy card has a threat value, which shows how far they can chase you. If there are any enemies within their threat range of you, they immediately move to your space and deal damage to your hero. At this point, you can play gambits to lessen the damage, if you have any in your hand. Some require you to discard them, others you simply need to reveal. Some will even have additional effects, such as returning damage to your attacker or allowing you to protect an ally instead of yourself. Once the threat phase is finished, it's on to Peril. You'll draw one card from the Peril deck, which may play or escalate the plot deck. If a card is escalated, you take the top card of the plot deck without looking at it and place it on the bottom of the next issue's plot deck. After the Peril card is resolved, if the plot deck is empty, you then begin the next issue. If the last plot deck ever runs out of cards, the heroes have taken too long and the villain's nefarious scheme is successful, causing players to lose the game. Of course, you also lose if all heroes are knocked unconscious. I can't really comment on component quality since I am looking at this through Tabletop Simulator. However, most of the artwork is finished and it definitely captures that comic book feel. The publicly playable demo is limited to 3 characters and a single villain plot. However, the finished game is intended to have much more content. This includes 6 characters which can all be used either as playable characters or for their team-up decks, 2 additional villain plots, 3 scenarios that can be mixed into the city deck, as well as potential stretch goals for even more content. I know some solo players will bemoan the fact that there's no pure solo mode, but if, like me, you don't mind doing multi-hand solo, then you'll probably find it to be an enjoyable experience. All in all, Union City Alliance is an impressive game. I initially went into it expecting to compare it to one of my favorite titles, Sentinels of the Multiverse. But aside from them both being cooperative card games with a comic book theme, they're really not that much alike at all. Instead, a much more apt comparison would be to say that it plays almost like a streamlined Mage Knight. It doesn't have the same level of complexity as Mage Knight, but the 3 basic resources of Alliance definitely remind me of the 4 basic resources of Mage Knight. However, keep in mind that Alliance does play much more quickly, and also is a much easier game. Although I've definitely had some close calls, I've yet to lose a game of Union City Alliance, versus my about 10% win rate in Mage Knight. Mind you, this is far from being a clone. It has plenty of mechanics that separate it and make it unique. And the villain plots definitely add a lot of flavor to the game too. As the game is in an unfinished state and I don't have access to physical components, I'm not going to be giving Union City Alliance a formal review score at this time. However, it's an enjoyably thematic game, and if you're a fan of cooperative games or comic book settings, then I definitely recommend you give it a look. As mentioned before, I played through the Tabletop Simulator demo, which includes 3 playable heroes and a single supervillain plot to challenge. Though it wouldn't make the cut for my free semi-official Tabletop Simulator mod segment, there's more than enough here to let you know if this is a game you'll enjoy or not. Be sure to look for the link in the description if you're interested in trying this one yourself. Union City Alliance is currently on Kickstarter. If you're interested in backing or learning more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Union City Alliance? What superhero-themed games do you enjoy? Yes, I know I need to review Sentinels of the Multiverse one of these days. If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave them in the comments down below, and please remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.